Hello, and welcome back to Key Lights here in Princeton Community Television. I'm Misha.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Rachel.
And here with us today we have Emily and Lyla, who are the kitchen twins, who are food bloggers and twin entrepreneurs. So to start us off, could you tell us a little bit about your blog and how it got started?
So our parents were our parents were food entrepreneurs, so when we were young, we were always in the kitchen with them cooking sort of healthy, natural foods, and so that sort of blossomed our love of cooking. And so when we were 9, we started our blog as a way to share our love for cooking, sort of an outlet for our recipes and our food adventures. And then we did launch a product called Kitchen Twins Make Your Own Kale Chip Kit. We don't do that anymore, but as of right now, we are working on our first cookbook, which we are very excited about. We have our manuscript right here, all of our recipes and everything. So we just submitted all the recipes, and now we're like in the photography stage. So yeah, we do work a lot with recipes and everything like that, and we try to post to our blog a lot. And yeah.
I saw that you guys were on the Rachel Ray show. How was that like for you?
Well, the first time was definitely more nerve-wracking than I'd say. Really cool experience. The green rooms, there's a makeup and hair studio. That was definitely really exciting for us. When you get on there, though, she's really friendly, really nice. So she sort of just brings you in and talks, and it's really sort of easy to do, I'd say. Yeah, and everybody behind the scenes is super nice and like friendly. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, and actually one of the green rooms we were in before we prepped, there was like a mirror on it, like Michelle Obama had signed there, so it was really cool. Yeah.
Speaking of signing, you have this from Chopped?
Yeah, so when we were 10 or 11, it was the summer between 5th and 6th grade, and now we're in 8th grade. We went on Chopped Junior and we competed against each other. This was from the judges. Everyone got to get something signed. So we brought our heart spoons. So all the chefs signed it. So Art Smith, Aaron Sanchez, and Ted Allen, and Layla Ali. So it was a really cool experience. Definitely one of the most stressful things I've ever done. And although we didn't win, we thought it was better that way, because otherwise people would have been like, oh, she's the better cook. Yeah, so it was a really good experience overall, though.
So what's your favorite dish to make, since you like make it healthy?
So we always have to say that our favorite dish is black forbidden rice, which sort of turns like a purpley color when you cook it. It's really pretty. And what we like to do with it is we make this carrot ginger dressing, so we put that on top of it with some maple soy tofu, some cilantro, and avocado. So it's a really simple dish, but it's also really yummy.
So how long have you guys been doing your blog?
Since we were 9,
5 years.
5 years, yeah. So I think we've gotten more into it now, though. We definitely try to post a lot more. I think we're doing it about once a week now. Like last week we did budgie cocoa almond bars, which were delicious.
So
we eat
good.
those all the time. Yeah, so we try to work on it a lot, but we really focus on our social media too. So in that way we sort of like expand people, getting them to our blog and stuff like that.
Do you want to continue this when you get older?
Yeah, so we both have what we want to be when we're older. I want to be a lawyer and she wants to be a doctor, but we also want to continue our love of cooking and sharing our love of cooking by coming out with our cookbooks and stuff. We have a lot of stuff we want to do when we're older, including sports and stuff. So. Yeah.
Do you prefer to make desserts? Do you like to bake or cook more?
Cook. Yeah, cook. I definitely I feel like you can do a lot more with cooking. You can sort of broaden everything. Baking is more of a science. I do love science and everything, so that's really fun. I really like experimenting with the baking, but cooking, if I have had a bad day or whatever and I come home and I cook, that is one of the and there's a broader variety for cooking. Cooking is a really nice outlet to express your creative side, but then when you come home and you just want to make cookies, you just want to make cookies. Yeah.
So since you've been doing it for 5 years, is there ever a time when you're not sure what to make, you've made everything?
I don't really know. We do eat a lot.
It just depends what's in our fridge.
Yeah, we do eat a lot of the same stuff. We go shopping with our parents a lot though whenever we have time. So that's sort of like whenever we see a new thing, we'll definitely get it, try something new out. Do you know what a jackfruit is?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
So we experiment with a lot of food. So if we ever need inspiration for a dish or something to post or a blog thing, we'll look at our Instagram, we'll look on the New York Times cooking page or Food 52, and we love getting inspiration from other people if we have nothing else to make. And also we like altering recipes based on what we have in our pantry.
Yeah, so like if we see maybe a cookie recipe we don't have enough sugar, maybe we'll substitute maple or whatever. So we're definitely really good with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
In the beginning, was it like difficult to make these dishes, or was it like easy?
The dish that we made were cookies with our grandmother.
And that was when we were like itty bitties, like 3, just over the holidays and everything. But I think over time, definitely like understanding what ingredients, like what to do with them.
And what utensils to use.
Yeah,
too.
I think definitely the more you cook, like the better you get.
Yeah, so like now like we won't put like lavender and ketchup together because we just know that what things go together. So like for tofu we have different seasonings because we're vegetarian. So one of the ones that we love to do is maple and soy, and after like a little while we just like have like put in different measurements over time, and over time we've perfected a lot of recipes.
Yeah.
So surely your peers at school or your friends have heard about your blog. What do they have to say about it?
Our friends are very encouraging, and they love what they're doing. They love coming over and having us cook for them. Definitely one of the benefits. We cook a lot with them. I guess I can say they're proud of us. But
yeah, we have like a lot of chopped competitions with our friends, or we'll make breakfast in the morning, and they're really supportive of us, and they'll be like, oh, can we be featured on your Instagram page, or can we be mentioned in your cookbook or something like that. So we have fun with them.
And we do have a lot of fun food stories with them.
What are some fun food stories that you have?
Well, again,
One of our friends who has the same birthday as us, we were doing one of our favorite foods is sushi. So she came over and we were having like just like us as like a birthday sleepover to celebrate our birthdays.
And one of the favorite foods we also love making sushi, so we decided to do that and do a Facebook Live video. So we did that, but she was like, she's sort of like an actress. She loves acting and everything.
But then she
I know
couldn't
you guys all went
talk.
to acting classes. But then when she got on here, she was like freaking out.
And she just started hysterically laughing and like screaming and making funny jokes and stuff. So she was nervous.
Or this past winter, we tried making gingerbread, but we didn't really do the right icing because we brought them over to our friend's house, and that just sort of turned into a disaster.
So how do you balance your busy life with posting one video a week?
Well, it's actually like now our lacrosse and field hockey season are really kicking in.
We have no time over the weekends. We have lacrosse tournaments on Sundays and games on Saturdays and practices.
But I definitely think with schoolwork and everything, both of us are really good at sort of organize everything and time management. So that's just something that we've definitely grown to get better at. Just time and sometimes like making sacrifices if that's like not hanging out with friends to go like work on our blog or whatever.
And if we don't get a chance to post a video or something, we'll just do extra posts or put some extra stuff on our Kitchen Twin story.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for our viewers out there that like want to start cooking? Or
I definitely say stick with it because it's definitely something you'll want when you're older. It's really enjoyable. I'd say start with the basics, definitely.
And experiment, have fun with it, because like once you start experimenting and having fun with it and doing different flavors, you get to figure out what you like, and then you become comfortable more in the kitchen.
Has your involvement with cooking changed your experience at restaurants?
We definitely become more critiques at restaurants, knowing sort of which flavors go together, how something's cooked, or even if something's just good or not. I mean, anyone can.
It's
sort
like
of
something's
see that.
plain. Like if there's just a pasta dish with Parmesan and like spinach and stuff, like we'll be like, oh, they could have added more to this, like a cream sauce or something. So we definitely like critique them, but we also love just eating out.
Yeah,
It's fun.
And since you've been on Chopped and the Rachel Ray Show, is there any other cooking show you want to be on in the future?
I don't know. We definitely have like our favorite chefs and everything, like Giada, Rachel Ray,
And we love to watch Bobby Flay.
Oh yeah.
Brunch at Bobby's, that's one of our favorite shows to watch in the morning. So I don't know. I don't really know like what shows have guests on them, but I think it would be fun just to go on any cooking show, really.
Yeah.
What's one odd flavor combination that you only discovered while you were cooking?
Well, when we were younger, this is like not what we were cooking, but we used to have Israeli couscous with some pesto on it, and she would put ketchup in hers. So that's just like one thing.
I don't do that anymore, but a lot of times sort of experimenting with them. Let me try to think of any
You
other.
made pasta pineapple cookies. Do you remember that?
That was from a Chopped competition. Let's see. I don't really know. Well, we do. I don't think anything is really out of the ordinary. I think the food world is definitely really growing today, and everyone's sort of willing to try stuff.
So I think like all the flavors that we do, like some people who like aren't in the kitchen as much, it might seem weird to them, but it's like what we're comfortable with, and it's what like goes together in like the food world. And you might like see it, like we have this carrot ginger dressing, and we just went to Whole Foods the other day and we saw like they have a carrot miso dressing, so it's a lot alike.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you guys are vegetarian, so do you have any advice for any vegetarian viewers on how they can, spruce up their cooking?
So a lot of people ask us, how do you get enough protein? And so what we always do, we have quinoa and rice and pasta and mung beans and lentils, and all those things are so good for you. And it's really easy to be vegetarian.
I find a lot of people do say like how do you get enough protein or whatever.
How do you live without bacon or something?
Yeah, that seems so hard. We've been doing it since we were 7. Definitely used to it by now, and honestly the reason we became vegetarian was because we felt bad for the animals, so it's not something that is sort of like
we have
dreadful.
to do.
Yeah, and not like
it's by our choice. So like seeing people you meet, we're like, okay, that's your choice, but this is ours. So
it's fine.
If people like are mocking us because we're vegetarian, or as I say, vegan, because they don't understand, we'll just be like, okay, well, this is our choice. Yeah. We feel bad for the animals, so.
What's your favorite vegetarian dish that you love to make?
All the dishes we make are vegetarian. I'd definitely say going back to our favorite dish, the black rice with carrot ginger dressing and tofu. That is so good.
We love making a lot of rice dishes, and we also love making sushi because it's a lot of fun, and pad thai is a lot of fun. We have like these sesame rice noodles that we love to make.
Quinoa, we use quinoa a ton. That's one of my favorite Southwest quinoa.
Yeah, like our dad, who was vegetarian, we were all trying to find ways to like substitute it, although we didn't really need it. So we're like, oh, what ways could we make things vegetarian? So we have this quinoa taco. It's like Southwest quinoa taco, and we've got quinoa black beans with some taco seasoning as the base. So like that's one of the ways that we just substitute.
So do you have any spoilers for upcoming posts?
Not right now really, but definitely our cookbook is a huge thing. I think we're going to start doing photos. We're really excited for that. That's definitely our biggest thing coming out.
It's going to be a huge fun experience.
Yeah. More recipes coming out that aren't in the cookbook, but yeah.
What's been your process for creating the cookbook?
What we did is we wrote down a list, so we had a requirement for how many recipes. I think it was like 75 or 80 or something. And so what we did is we just wrote down recipe ideas that we didn't even have a recipe to, but they just sounded good to us. So
then, they had like requirements for us for like the chapters, so.
And the word count.
Yeah, and the word count, so we had to create those. But the recipes were definitely our own. we finished the recipes, most of them over winter break. I think we made at most 9 recipes in a day. Insane amount of cooking. Our kitchen was always a mess.
This is one of the rare times that it's not
But
messy.
definitely, again, time management, knowing like when you have to do it. I think we're pretty good at that, but now we're getting back into like all the editing and stuff, so we'll see.
What's been the most surprising about putting together a cookbook that you didn't know before?
That there has to be like a word count. I didn't know there was a word count. I just thought there was like a specific amount of recipes. And also like I thought it was stressful, but I think it's more fun than stressful because the excitement and stuff
creating
is
new
over,
recipes,
like throwing the
like
anxiety.
a lot of, like Lyla said, we wrote down a lot of the recipes without actually making them, so just creating them. One of the recipes, we actually just made it. It's a tropical banana souffle, and so at first we thought we'd do like little crepes. Those, we made them once, they were perfect.
Or strawberry souffle.
Yeah,
we
we
just
made
had to do a lot of experimenting to
like
figure
the
out the
crepes,
recipes
we made
that
them
do.
once, and they were perfect. We made them again,
And
did
they
not work
didn't
out. And then we tried it with strawberry souffle, that didn't work out, and then we finally perfected this recipe.
I think our mom has been a lot of help to us, and I think just eating out at restaurants or trying different flavor combinations, but a lot of these are things that like are just comfort to us. So
And would you consider like healthy foods being your little niche, or do you want to expand?
we make a lot of healthy foods because that's just what our family's focused on and stuff.
Like when we go to the store trying out new things. We do make other types of food though,
Like cookies or
chocolate stuff, because we want to appeal to all audiences. And it's not that we don't eat it, it's just that.
and even things that like might like sound unhealthy, we try to figure out a way to make them healthy and good for you.
So how do you keep things tasting great and also healthy? What are some tips?
A lot of times we add things like oats.
Or hemp, which just it doesn't add flavor, but it adds
Hemp hearts.
nutrients and protein,
Yeah. Chia seeds.
which helps you
A
restore
lot of
hydration.
times you see in like cookie recipes or brownies or whatever a ton of sugar. We find that you do not need that much, so we'll take a bunch of that out if we are following the recipe or even creating our own, and they taste the same. So yeah, just sort of balancing that.
Are there any like unique ingredients that you wouldn't usually put together, but you thought was like amazing together once you like made it?
Let's see. I don't really know. There's a lot of things that I think is sort of surprising. Like maybe that's more on like the science side of it, like baking, like seeing what happens to the ingredients. I wouldn't necessarily say that there's a lot of things that surprised us, like ingredient
Because
wise.
it's like our first cookbook, like we have to like appeal to all audiences, and I think like if people saw like chocolate covered pickles or something, like they wouldn't like that because that's surprising.
Not that we eat those.
Yeah. But like just making it appeal to all audiences is our goal for right now.
You mentioned that for some of your recipes you have a lot of trial and error, Was there one specific recipe that took you a really, really long time to perfect?
I think there were a few specific recipes that we had made over and over again, like the tropical souffle that we were talking about before.
we had,
That was
like,
probably number one on our list.
We had a grilled like lettuce salad that took us a while.
Or one of our Belgian chocolate puddings that took us a while, just perfecting like the consistency and everything.
And we had a lot of people taste test our recipes, so we also had to go and make them again after they did that.
And it's really hard because you have to do like the timing of everything. So even if you don't get the timing right, you have to go make it again and then check it, look over it, make sure that everything's okay. If you forgot to write down how much flour you added, go make it again. That's the thing. A cookbook is very strict with everything. So yeah.
Do your friends ever ask you to cook for like the birthday parties or for events?
Not really, but definitely when they come over.
They want like, oh, do you want to make a snack or something? Really mean to ask to make the snack. So yeah, we cook a lot with them, as we said earlier, and it's fun. But they really like our cooking.
It's great.
Yeah.
What's the largest quantity you've ever cooked in?
Oh God, I don't know. Well, for Christmas, I think we had 14 this year. Not sure. But we have Christmas at our house here. And we make a cauliflower truffle lasagna.
We have to make like three
of them each year.
And Thanksgiving, like the big holidays where we do family stuff, like I always make the stuffing for Thanksgiving, and that is like a lot. We use like huge bowls and stuff because we make
sourdough, so we get to use that bread too.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of cooking.
Wow, that sounds absolutely great. What's one dish that takes a really long time, like lengthwise, to make?
Well, one dish that we made one time was angel food cake, but it took like all day.
And that was, we had family coming over just for like a casual evening. That night it actually didn't end so well. In the plug it started melting.
For our KitchenAid.
Yeah, and that could have lit on fire. Luckily it didn't, but the cake was still really good.
Yeah.
What's your biggest dish you've ever made?
There's this one, it's like an egg dish, so you make an egg white souffle on the top, and on the bottom of that, it's like your basic, frittata.
Yeah.
But without the egg whites, and so that's really good, so
and
it's cheesy and veggie.
Yeah, so we do that in our cast iron, and actually one of the times we made it, the egg whites were so
we had
big.
to take a bunch of racks out in our oven so that it would like fit. Yeah, so that's a really big quantity dish.
Okay. Next, we'll have the Kitchen Twins show us what they've been cooking in the kitchen.
So what we're gonna make, it's a milkshake, but instead of using ice cream, we like to use frozen bananas because they're healthier and we think they add a lot of good flavor.
Yeah. And we will be making a maple milkshake.
Okay, so now what we're gonna make is a maple milkshake. So we have milk, or we use almond milk because
We find it, we don't really like to drink regular milk, so this is a good alternative.
and then our maple. We love using maple, whether it's in cookies or granola or our smoothie. It's our sweetener. It's so good.
And then coconut milk. Coconut milk is probably the biggest staple in our house. We use it in dinners, breakfasts, anything you can think of.
And then frozen bananas, which is our substitute instead of
Ice cream.
because it's healthier and we feel like it adds a really nice taste.
Alright, so now we're just going to blend it. Okay, and now we'll pour. This blender is actually one of our favorite blenders. It's the Vitamix. We saved up our own money to get it, but as you can see, it makes everything so smooth. If you put kale and butter in there, it will be one color. It's that good. All right. Here you go. It's really good.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
And, it's super healthy.
Yeah.
And the banana gives really great flavor. And it's great that, no junk went into it. And it's absolutely amazing what these girls can do.
Yeah.
Awesome job. And thank you so much for making it for us.
So this is our Moroccan spice nuts, and as you can see, it's got some raisins in there, some slivered almonds, walnuts, and then so we just sort of melt some coconut oil, brown sugar, put the nuts in, and add the seasoning, which consists of things like cinnamon and allspice. So yeah, really easy. Then just bakes and then you eat it out.
Do you have any recipes that people can go onto your blog sites on and just try out at home for themselves?
Yeah, definitely. Things we just posted this one a little while ago. Our fudgy cocoa almond bars.
Or chocolate muffins, or carrot, potato, tomato veggie pancakes, which are really good for any time of day.
Yeah, just things like that. We have a roasted pepper and tomato dip, which is one of our favorites.
Good. So you can search the blog and find recipes that's categorized. So whether you want a dessert or an entree,
something like that. Yeah.
I've got to give it a try then.
Yeah.
This has been amazing. So I'd just like to thank you so much for making us this delicious maple milkshake and demonstrating how you guys make it, which is super awesome.
Yeah, and it's super easy too, which is nice.
And of course cooking the healthy way. I know some people might not think that's the good way, but it makes you feel better. It's cleaner eating, and
it still tastes really good.
Yeah.
So when will your book come out? Publication?
May 14th, 2019.
That is the set date for now.
And where can we and the audience follow you to keep updated?
For Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Kitchen Twins.
And then our blog is www.kitchen-twins.com.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for sharing your story and for doing this interview with us.
These are delicious.
For demonstrating this, and this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.